I grew up in Rockville, Maryland. I didn't realize that we had a pretty hard life in the beginning. It was a fun life, but we were really working class family. My mom would go and she'd say, "Let's go, kids, we're going to get lost." And we'd get in a car and drive, and we'd drive for a couple hours, and then she'd pull over and say, "Oh no, guess what?" And we'd say, "We're lost." And it would be so fun to find our way home. And at the time, what I didn't know when I was a kid is it's usually because my father had a drinking problem, and so we'd end up leaving and get out of the house. But what it ended up doing, it was a wonderful lesson for me about life, about going and not being afraid to be lost and not being afraid of what's around the corner. And because it was always a really exciting journey to find our way home, so to speak. And growing up was fun, but it was hard. I failed 4th grade, okay? I wasn't the greatest student. By the time I made it to 8th grade, I had a child at 14. And so, again, I started off with a different path than most people. When I look back on the little things that you don't think about much, it meant a lot to me. Like, again, I'm an 8th grader, and a girl would walk up and say, "My mom and dad say I can't talk to you anymore." It's not a big deal, right? But when you're 14, it hurts. And so sometimes the worst things in your life can turn out to be the best things in your life. I've got a beautiful daughter out of this whole thing. You get to a place where you look back in your life and it'll either define you, and I wasn't sure what path I was going to choose. Half my friends are in jail or dead, right? And the other half have figured it out, how to live life and make it. After 8th grade, I fell pretty deep into my father and a lot of my family's tracks, and just jumped into heavy drinking and just trying to mask a lot of the pain and stuff in high school, and went down the wrong road for a while and realized probably right about 12th grade that I wanted to break the cycle. I didn't want to continue down a path that my father had taken. And so I got out. I learned how to pay for college. That's what I learned. It was more about how do I get student loans and Pell Grants, and I graduated with a 2.16 actually. Thank you very much. And so yeah, it wasn't so much about the academics as it was how do I survive and get through it. These things again were great for the future because it just starts toughening you up, starts to get you. And I didn't realize it at the time, it was pretty painful, but all those things that happened are what made me who I am today. Having adversity and being kind of an outcast almost, has taught me that sometimes the worst things in your life can turn out to be the best things in your life.